Hey guys, it is Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Music Snob. This is the show where people who follow me on Instagram and look at my Instagram story can use that little question sticker, send me anything they would like to ask me. Again, I think I'm going to be having this be an every couple of weeks type of thing on Instagram because I have so many questions that I get, and a lot of them are very good questions. It would be better for me to knock out a bunch of these on one day and then have them spread out throughout the week so that I can actually free time to make better, bigger productions for you guys, aka making actual music. Alright, let's get into it. Opinion on people who say rock is dead yet don't give new bands a chance. They've taken too much nostalgia Viagra. Their nostalgia boner has lasted longer than 3 to 4 decades and they should immediately see a doctor. Will you be going to NAMM? I want to say hi. First of all, hi. Second of all, yes, I will be going to NAMM. This is my first time going to Winter NAMM, the big one in Anaheim, California. I am very excited. I'm not 100% sure what to expect. All I know is I will most likely be having a fabulous time. I actually have a friggin' sweet guitar waiting for me while I go down there too, so very excited to see that. Any tips for becoming faster at shredding and being able to move my hands faster? 1. Practice slowly to a metronome. I know nobody likes to do this, but if you don't do it, you're gonna sound like shit. I'm looking at you, literally all of my students. 2. Keep both of your hands as relaxed with as little tension as possible. 3. Make sure every note is as clean as possible when you are practicing with as little dead space in between the notes as you can possibly make it. 4. Practice at least 3 hours a day. If you follow these 4 simple steps, you will play very fast. Who would have thought that hard work is all it took to be good at something? Can music cure depression? No, in any colloquial sense, I don't think it cures depression. I view music as medicine, in a sense, or similarly to how people would say drugs. I hesitate to use the word drugs only because there is such a negative connotation with it, and you're not impairing yourself from being able to do other activities. But it does have a similar effect on your brain that drugs do, and it can help lift you up, it can help bring you down, it can help guide you towards a revelation. There's lots of great things that music can do. Can it cure depression? No. Can it help waylay some of the symptoms of depression? Yes. Depression can only be cured by people getting their shit together and figuring out their lives, unless you have an actual chemically based depression, which is a thing. Would you do a collaboration with an artist you don't like if it would let you reach your goals? That depends. If it was somebody like Ariana Grande, like, I don't hate Ariana Grande, I don't really like any of the stuff that she does. I think she's, honestly, people blow her up to be this amazing singer. I think she's good, I don't think she's amazing. If for some reason she was dumb enough to ask me to collaborate, I'd be like, fuck yeah, why not? Nothing wrong with free exposure. Now on the other hand, if Adam Levine asked me to collaborate, even if he wanted to say, here's $30 million so we can write a song together, I would show him specifically where to stick that $30 million. So it really depends for me, man. I mean, I'm willing to collaborate with people, but there are certain standards that I do have. And regardless, any collaboration, there has to be some parity between the two styles of the artists for anything remotely positive to come out of it. Which country had a bigger effect on rock, the US or the UK? That's a great question, actually. I don't have a complete answer for it, but I can tell you that rock and roll was born in the USA, so that's a big chip on the US side. However, some of the best and most influential rock bands ever have come out of the UK. As a matter of fact, I think a whole bunch of the top 10 came out of the UK. Between the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Queen, the Beatles, I mean, 4 of the most iconic people in music in the 20th century. It's really freaking tough not to say the UK. But the UK wouldn't have it without the music that came from America. So, and not only that, but we also did have Jimi Hendrix. Oh shit, that's right, the UK also had Eric Clapton. I think you guys had Clapton. Yeah, you guys had Clapton. But Canada has Rush, so the correct answer is Canada. How can I face growing up without having a total mental breakdown? Come to terms with the fact that everyone dies. that's a great start. I don't mean just thinking about it and being all melancholy about it. I mean being at peace with it. Do you have any recommendation for a YouTube channel good for learning guitar? Shout out to a regular sponsor on the channel, Guitario. They have awesome courses that they have over on their website. They actually do have a YouTube channel where they show you different guitar lessons, little tidbits here and there. My buddy Samurai Guitarist has a lot of great lessons. I highly recommend going and checking out his stuff. His Sensei series, on point. And you'd be surprised how many songs have actual lessons given by the people who wrote those songs right on YouTube. When I initially wanted to learn on the backs of Angels, there was a handful of parts I didn't know how to do, and I just looked it up on YouTube, and there's John Petrucci teaching us how to play on the backs of freaking Angels. Do you have a pet? No. There are many times I wish I did, and if I did, I would most likely get a dog. And when I say a dog, I don't mean a little fucking loaf of fur. I mean a damn dog. Something substantial that, like, can go hunt things or kill people who trespass on my property. But also a little snuggle bear is nice as well. Can one become a snob without whiskey? There's a lot of people that stay sober who are giant dickheads, so yes. Does combining politics and music turn you off because it's one-sided? Interesting question. Usually combining politics and music turns me off because the people who are having these political messages don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It is so very rarely a holistic view of what's going on. Like Paul McCartney doing his whole thing with the captain of the boat. I mean, yeah. Spoiler alert, Trump's an asshole, who would have thought? But you're completely neglecting an entire other side of the story as to what put him in office in the first place. I'm digressing. So that's one of my bigger gripes with it. The other gripe is if you're telling people how to interpret your songs, you're immediately separating a whole bunch of people from your art who would otherwise be able to appreciate it in their own way and get some enrichment out of that. The one-sidedness of it all coming from a bunch of these lefties all the time, yeah, I mean, that does get a little annoying every once in a while, but a lot of the opposite side, the right-wing stuff, sucks really bad. It's truly awful. What are your favorite books? I don't really read that much. I mostly consume things by audio, and the things that I have read, I have enjoyed for the most part. One book that I recommend to everyone, and I will probably wind up doing a video on this book. If you're a musician, you need to read this book. It's called The Music Lesson by Victor Wooten. I will not spoil anything about this book. All I will tell you is it is an amazing philosophy to follow as a musician. Obviously, love the Lord of the Rings books. I think that's pretty plain and clear. Ender's Game. My brother introduced this to me when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that. Yeah, it was 7th grade. I loved this book. When I read the name and when I looked at the cover, I thought this is gonna really suck. And then as I got into it, I was like, this is the best book ever. I was so royally pissed what they did to it in that movie with Harrison Ford. It was a joke. They tried to shove 2 movies worth of content, possibly even 3 movies worth of content, into one movie that was 90 minutes long, and it was a fucking mess. If you saw the movie Ender's Game and you didn't like it, please, I beg you, give the book a chance. The book is amazing. Difficulty of forming friendships on a scale of 1 to 10. If we're gonna say 1 is the most difficult and 10 is the easiest, I would give myself probably an 8 or a 7. Most of the people I encounter in my day-to-day existence find me very likable and agreeable. Even though I am also very honest, they kind of admire that about me. So being friendly with people is the easiest thing in the world for me. However, how much I let people in and actually build a real friendship, that's mostly dependent upon me. I don't use the word friend lightly, so that's where it would go from being a 9 or a 10 down to a 7 or an 8. I had a really good question to ask you a few days ago, but now I forget it. Sucks to suck.
Just to suck.
That is it for Ask a Music Snob. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram. Keep your eye out for the story that'll be happening every couple of weeks. T-shirt is still for sale, link in the description. And you can follow me on Twitter, again, Instagram and Facebook at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!